Hey everyone, this is Self-Made Millennial. I'm Madeline Mann. Today we're going to be talking about 4 things you must know before you start your first corporate job. All of these things seem very obvious to people who have been working for a while, and they won't tell you these things because they think it should be obvious for you as well. But it's really not, and I wish someone would have told me these things. I have made these mistakes so that you do not have to. So tip number 1, take notes. Take a notebook with you everywhere you go. In my first corporate job, I remember my boss coming up to me and asking me, do you even care about being here? You seem really demotivated out of it. And that question really surprised me because I thought I was trying hard. And what it got down to is that she said that in meetings that she brought me into to shadow her, I just seemed so passive and bored. I would just sit there and her suggestion was to bring a notebook, take notes. This was such a life lesson for me. Since that day, there's not been a single meeting I've ever been to where I haven't had my notebook. And this is not just for people starting out in their careers. This should be done throughout your entire career. The reason for taking notes is two-pronged. So the first side is that it really will help you stay more present and it'll be good to reference, it'll help your memory. The second part is the perception of the team. So they will perceive you as, taking this meeting more seriously, and they'll appreciate that you're writing ththings down and they have faith that you will act on those things. It's like those waiters that don't write down your order and you're like, hey, do you want to write this down? They say, no, I got it, it's all up here. In your head, you're thinking, if they mess this order up, I'm gonna be so annoyed that they didn't write this down. So make sure you're the kind of teammate that writes stuff down. Tip number 2, do not send apologetic or wordy emails to executives. When you send wordy emails to executives, it comes off as a lack of confidence as well as a lack of experience. Let's go over an example of what one of these apologetic emails would look like. Hello, just wondering if I could possibly get your thoughts on this attachment when you have a moment. Sorry, I know that you're busy, so I deeply appreciate you taking the time. Thank you, Madeline. So when you're sending emails to executives, keep it short, skip the preamble, make it concise. Here's a better way. Hello, the information is attached. Thoughts? So there's quite a bit of difference there. I struggled with this for a while, and I actually use a Gmail plugin called Just Not Sorry. And what it does is it underlines weak language so that you can either delete it or replace it. Some examples of weak language are when you apologize or using the word very or just. It doesn't help your email. Moving right along to tip number 3, ask an absurd amount of questions. This is quite honestly the most crucial advice I could have ever gotten. Basically what happens when you're new to a role or a company, your manager will give you assignments and they'll give you directions on how to do it, and they will believe that they are being completely clear. But they won't be. They will be leaving things out, and it's up to you to decipher what details they left out. I have so many of these examples in my career where I did not ask enough questions. One of them is that I was asked to change names and addresses on contracts and then send them out to dozens of employees. So I did exactly that. I sent them all out, and my manager gets back to me and she's frustrated. She's like, why did you send out the contracts that way? And it turned out I had sent out Word documents instead of PDFs. And if anyone who is familiar with sending out contracts, you would know that you send out PDFs so that people cannot edit the context of the contract. As someone new to the job, that was not something that even crossed my mind. So I completely goofed that one. The question is, whose fault is it that I messed up that assignment? In the end, it is my fault. It is whoever is getting the assignment's fault that they messed it up because they did not ask enough questions. It's crummy, but the manager doesn't know what you don't know, so you need to ask tons of questions to fill in all those gaps. The most difficult part is knowing what the heck questions do you ask. The way I ask my best questions is I think about the why. Why do you want me to do this assignment? Who will this affect? Who are the key stakeholders? What outcomes are we trying to create? Really understanding the full picture, even though the assignment may seem just as simple as sending out some contracts. By understanding the why behind it all, you will be able to make great game time decisions. A lot of people who are new to the workforce don't take this approach of asking so many questions because they don't want to be that annoying toddler who goes, but why, but why, but why? But it's actually hugely important that you be vaguely annoying with how many questions you're asking, because that's how you're going to get the high quality work. And they honestly have no idea that they have poorly explained this assignment. So you're really helping them so that they don't have to redo your work later. Fourth and final tip that I'll share with you today is you are the only one in charge of your development. This is a cruel fact that you realize when you get into the workforce, that no one is going to be there to hold your hand, to make sure you're learning every step of the way, to make sure that your career is going in the right direction. Some of us do have those amazing mentors and managers who do that, but you can't rely on that. You have to go after what you want. Going after what you want requires a lot of self-discovery on your part. So as you're doing different assignments, as you're working for different people, really think about, is this something that makes me happy? Is this something I want to pursue? And really having that idea of knowing yourself well will help you to tell your manager exactly what you need from them. You need to practice feeling comfortable asking for something, because you will not get anything you don't ask for in the working world. For example, if you really love writing and you want to write for the company blog, you need to explicitly tell your manager that and whoever owns the blog that, to make sure that you start writing for them. But, dropping hints saying, oh, writing's been past your mind, that will not lead to the outcome you want. We all have different personalities. Your manager has no idea how to best grow you since you are a unique individual. So any explicit help you can give them to help them help you, I'm sure they're going to be thrilled when you have a plan in place that they can help assist you execute. But in the end, it's your plan. You're the one guiding it, no one else. So those are all my tips for today. Let's all bask in the fact that we all make huge mistakes when we first start out in our first few jobs. So do leave some stories of mistakes you made and that we can all learn from. This is a new channel, so every time you like this video, it's a huge help. And subscribe if you want to see more of these videos every week. That's all for now. See you next time.